What's going on, Bulls Nation, and welcome into the CHGO Bulls Summer League Postgame Show, presented to you by PointsBet. Don't forget that promo code CHGO when you sign up to live your bet life. I'm Peck. You can follow me on Twitter at Bulls_Peck. That's my guy, Big Dave. He's at BOW, BWL Sports. We are CHGO_Bulls. Back in sweet home Chicago. It's about damn time.
We are here.
Joey, we missed you, man. How are you?
I'm good. I missed you guys, too. I was following along with the All Olympics, with all the RG videos, which was great.
Dude.
Shout out RG.
Big Dave's jumper on the Vegas blacktop was wet.
Yeah, and Will's putting skills were very impressive.
Right?
Very impressive. It looked like it was a great time. Obviously, happy to have you guys back, though. And continue on making this awesome content.
Joey? You look like you're doing a lot right now today, man. You
I'm
okay?
good.
You okay?
I'm good. I'm all right. Yeah, I mean, I've got back. I was on vacation last week, too, while you guys were gone, so that was nice for me.
Okay.
And back to the grind now. You know?
Back on
Let's do it.
We just want you to officially know that while we did enjoy our time working with Kale, who is another one of our wonderful producers here at All City, shout out to him. He did a great job filling in.
He did.
No one can fill your shoes, and we missed you terribly. And next year, you're coming with us.
I appreciate that more than you guys know. I miss you guys too. Happy you're back. And now I'm waiting, you know.
What are you waiting
Brandon, please let me come. All right.
Oh, we're making it happen. Next year, I'm putting you in my duffel bag.
Oh, he's coming, man.
If it comes to that.
I tried to get him this year, but they say they needed him here. Like, I really was going to just pay his ticket and bring him, but they say they needed him here. So.
Another reason we're glad to be back is that while it is fairly hot today here in Chicago, which is like mid-80s, it's not 112.
Yeah, but
Vegas, what the hell is wrong with you?
This is, as a man that sweats often, let me tell you something. This is different. I can take that dry 100-degree heat. I'm not saying it's fun. I understand all the complaints. I get it. But the humidity that Chicago puts out, it like feels like an extra coat of heat that you have to wear when you're walking down the street. In Vegas, you can literally, walk around with a jersey on, and you might catch a hot breeze, and you'll be okay. At least for me, you'll be all right. You'll still sweat. You'll go through all that. But this humidity just makes you want to be violent. This is ridiculous out here, the humidity. It's tough and it's hard, and Joey is a trooper for dealing with this stuff all the time. I don't know how you do it, Joe. I really don't, man. Without the air conditioning that I got right here, I walked in, and the first thing I did was grab that air conditioner, man, and get on down. I don't know how y'all do it, man. How aren't you dripping sweat? I don't get this.
I used all of the sweat that my body could produce over the last 5 days in Vegas. I have no more sweat.
Okay. All right. I'll loan you some of mine.
I got plenty. I'm just a dried out corpse at this point.
But I did miss it here, of course. You get to that time, you're like, you're ready to get back. You're ready to go home.
Yeah, man. And
I enjoyed Vegas, though.
We were remote for our last couple of shows pre-Vegas last week.
Yeah.
So this is our first time out in the studio
You're
in quite some time, man. It's good to be home.
You're right. That's why I had to hug Joey a little extra.
I gave him a good hug, too.
Yeah, man. It's been a minute, man. So it was just cool to see everybody. The White Sox, the Cubs are out there, too. You know what I mean? Casey is here. Like, everybody, I saw Coach, I saw Jake before I walked in.
The fam is here, man.
I think Jake was waiting on me to walk in just so he can hand me the package to give to Hurd, because he did not want to come back upstairs to give it to him. And
Smart.
I appreciate him being that kind of smooth.
Smart.
I peeped it, and I was like, he's waiting for me to come on in. Man, I can tell. I was like, it was a good move, though. I was like, it's a nice move, man. I appreciate that. That's why he is who he is.
Yeah.
Smart man.
Other good vibes, in addition to us reuniting with our family here at CHGO, is Bulls got a solid win just now, their third Summer League game. We will talk about their win over the Raptors in just a minute. But other great vibes, and I wanted to start with this.
Of course I did, Kevin. Are you kidding? Well, what? I was covered in the block.
Dude.
All right? But there's only so much it can do. All right? It's only so much it can do.
And Big Dave was devastated when he left one of them in his Uber on the way to the stadium.
I not only had sweat block on me, I had sweat block towels.
You had a sweat block towel.
All right? I had 3 of them. I had sweat block towels, all right? 3 sweat block. I wasn't playing around. You know what I'm saying? There wasn't no games. I knew what I was walking into. I had jerseys on deck. I was ready, all right? I knew this ain't my first rodeo, baby. I know what I'm doing out here. You know what I'm saying? I ain't new to this. I'm true to this, Kev. I sweat. I sweat, baby. I sweat.
Big Dave, what changed in Vegas that you're wearing your hair differently now? Because I saw a couple pictures. I couldn't see the dreads. I was concerned for a second.
No. Well, first of all, you should never ever worry about that.
My mom texted me last night.
Yeah.
Right before I passed out for 12 hours saying, did Big Dave cut his dreads? And I said, no, would never.
No.
But so clearly,
I didn't think
there are
you would do
multiple
that.
people who were concerned about this.
No. Just pull it to the back because I knew I was going into some heat. You know what I'm saying? And Matt has had this conversation with many a times. Like, don't you get hot with all that hair? And I told him if it ever gets really hot, I just pull it back and then I'm okay. So that's what I did. I knew what I was walking into. I knew I was walking into Satan's lair. So I was like, yo, let me pull my hair back. You know what I'm saying? And just rock it like that. And I'm probably going to keep it back, for a while because I got a wedding I got to go to on Sunday. So
I like it. It looks
Thank
tough.
you, man. Thank you. I got to go sit down and do something again tomorrow. So we'll see what we come up with.
I was like, no.
What?
But several people have asked me that all the time when they'll just see a picture of you
with the hair
where your dreads are, in a ponytail or whatever pulled back behind you. And they're, oh, my God. It's like, no.
Don't worry.
No.
Don't ever be concerned. They're there. They're over here looking amazing and awesome. Just over here chilling and relaxing, baby. Don't even concern yourself with it, man. They all good. But thank you for your concern. I appreciate it.
We got some people giving Carly Jones some love in the comments. We will talk about this game and his performance coming up next.
Yeah, true.
But other good vibes that I wanted to mention before we dive into postgame. Someone got married the other day, Dave.
Okay.
Do you know who that someone is?
I do know who that someone is, but the floor is yours. I'm not here for that. The floor is yours.
My soulmate got married to someone else. Joakim Noah finally tied the knot with his longtime partner, Liz Ribeiro,
awesome.
In Brazil. The wedding was in Brazil.
Well done. Well
done. You like that? That's
very well done.
I was so happy, just looking through all of their Instagram posts over the last 48 hours or so. And not only am I happy for Joakim, even though I'm a little spurned that I wasn't invited.
I'm sure you are.
I was waiting for my invitation. It never came.
I'm sure you were.
But you know who was there?
Who was?
His BFF, Derrick Rose.
He was.
Joey, do we have this picture? Check that out.
I love that picture.
Joakim's father, Yannick Noah, retired professional tennis player, showing off his matching Bob Marley tattoo that D-Rose also has. Yes. They have the same Marley tat.
How awesome
Yannick's is on his upper right arm. D-Rose is on his left foot.
That's amazing.
That picture brings me so much happiness. I saw somebody out there in Bulls Nation added me on Twitter with that picture, said, try not to cry. And I took one look at it. I think it was while we were waiting to head home from the Vegas airport yesterday morning. And I was emotionally and physically drained from a 4-day stretch of Vegas. And I just burst into tears. I was like,
goodness, man. Let's, Joey, do me a favor. Put the Joakim Noah picture back up here, please. Do that for me. Okay. Now I want to talk about some things right here on my man Joakim. First of all, again, shout out, congratulations. That is awesome. Got married to a long time. That is amazing. Congratulations to him, man. Let's talk about this suit game that's going on real quick. So all I'm pointing out, you know what I'm saying, right here in the back
is the
untucked shirt, and it looked like the pants are sagging a little bit too, man. I'm not feeling that right there. Listen, you be who you are. If he's comfortable and that's him, and right there, but. I like that a little more cleaner when you're standing up at the altar.
Okay, let me tell you right now. I'm not just saying this because I will defend Joakim to the ends of my life and beyond.
Okay.
I tend to sag my pants a little bit because I'm stuck in the 90s.
Okay.
And I've never been a fan of tucking in my shirt.
Okay,
but you do you, Joe.
I'm just saying.
I like that look.
At a wedding, I don't mind I don't mind any of that.
Not a wedding, his wedding.
Yes, exactly. It's your wedding, man. You got, you know what I'm saying? You got to do it a little differently, man. That's just my opinion. You be who you are, Joakim. If that's who you want to be, Matt, you be who you are. But at my wedding, I'm going to tell you right now, that joint going to have to be tucked in, Matt. It's going to have to be tucked in, bro.
I will follow every rule and guideline that you set for me.
Fair enough.
If I'm ever lucky enough to be at your wedding.
Fair enough. So it's got to be tucked in. That's all I'm saying. I don't mind the sagging. Like I sag. Like all that. It's fine.
So I will give you this. If I'm at a wedding and it's a formal attire wedding and I'm wearing my nice 3-piece suit, I clean up good.
You do.
And I keep things tucked in.
You do. Look like Sean Connery. Yeah, you're
at the Bulls charity gala.
Look like James Bond.
I looked like friggin' James Bond.
You really did. You really did. It was smooth, man.
But do you then accept that as the wedding festivities progress,
right,
it is okay to loosen the tie a bit?
Yes.
Let a little bit of air breathe through that suit. Untuck the shirt a little bit.
Listen, you can change clothes
Pulled up the cuffs.
You can change clothes for all I care. I did it at the last wedding I was in. As soon as it was a wrap and I danced at the wedding, I was like, I'm starting to get hot and sweaty. I'm going right to my room. I'm switching clothes. And I put on a jacket and some shorts and went right back to the reception. That's fine. I'm just talking about when you're standing up there. You know what I'm saying? But again, look at me talking. This is a millionaire making all stupid amounts of money doing this thing, man. So you just keep being you, Joe.
We did a fair amount of wardrobe changes in Vegas.
This is fair. This is fair, man.
You sweat right through it.
I was very proud of myself
Immediately
for bringing the amount of shirts and jerseys I brought.
Yeah.
Because I didn't think I was going to need them. But until I got down there, like, gonna need this. Gonna sweat through everything.
Everything.
I
think I had 4 tank tops and 4 jerseys.
Okay.
Wore them all. Did a load of laundry near the end of the trip because I had sweat through everything.
I'm pretty sure that Joe is planning his honeymoon in Cleveland.
Oh, is that right? Is that right, Joey?
He loves
Very
vacation.
nice.
I tell you what, the Cleveland Metro Parks are lovely this time of year.
Wouldn't that be funny though if he did do that? Just with the Cleveland on this honeymoon.
Yeah, he said nobody. He said nobody wants a vacation in Cleveland.
Right.
Maybe,
Yeah.
maybe he's come around on that now.
Dude, that would be pretty awesome if he did that. Honestly,
That would be epic. Charlie in the comments pointing out that another one of his longtime Bulls teammates and good friends, Luol Deng, also in attendance at this wedding. I believe I also saw Thabo Sefolosha in attendance at this wedding. Like some old legendary Bulls of the Joakim years.
Okay.
Made it out to Brazil.
Yeah.
To see Joe tie the top knot.
Yeah, I'll have to show you that picture of Derek and Luol Deng together.
Oh, I've seen it.
Oh, you saw that?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. It was great, man. So, yeah, they were definitely there.
I can only look at it once or else I'll start crying again.
Who was it that you wanted to see there, but maybe you don't know if they were there or not?
Brad Miller.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. He was tight with him, man. And he looks different.
Yeah.
Brad Miller looks a little different now.
So Brad Miller, if you recall, early last season, October, in the game that we went to, the Joakim official retirement night at the UC,
yeah.
Brad Miller showed out in Chicago that weekend to come to Joakim's retirement night.
did.
And I was like, oh my goodness, Brad Miller turned into some kind of hippie mountain man. And you know what? It's a look that totally works for him.
It's a good look on him, man. It's the look that he's always wanted to have.
Yeah.
And you can kind of tell.
I hope I look like that.
Yeah.
In 10 years.
It's true.
Yes. A slowly graying beard, disheveled hair everywhere, flannel, torn up jeans.
I think if I see you with a beard, I'll know that you're comfortable. Because you don't seem like the guy who's going to just have one to have one. I think if you have a beard, you are comfortable where you are in life. Everything is good. And I'm going to be really happy for you, man.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Bearded Peck will be an awesome thing to see. I've seen mustache Peck. That's kind of business-like a little bit, but bearded Peck would be awesome to see, man. What are we seeing right here? Kyle Korver. He said he must see Kyle Korver. Okay. I don't know if Kyle's there. Speaking of that, Will's going to join us soon, too.
Yeah.
Awesome.
I just heard from him, said just got done with Postgame Media. Oh,
look at that.
I heard the little jingle.
You heard that jingle jangle. Oh, you know what that could mean. That only means one thing and one thing only. The GOAT is in the building. Yay!
I will.
Thriller Delph in the place to be. What's up, Will?
What's up, guys? Can you hear me? The internet connection down here in the tunnel is not the best.
Yeah, we got you.
That's a flex.
How you doing, buddy? You're looking a little bit.
You're
you're looking a little bit sixth day in Vegas. How you holding up?
That's exactly how I'm doing. I'm just trying to hang in there. It's been tough here without you guys.
Hey man, we miss you.
We do miss you, man.
I woke up in my bed this morning and I was like, where's Will? I got used to sleeping next to you, buddy.
How was Will as a roommate?
Let's just clarify that we were not sleeping in the same bed. It was different beds in the same room.
I feel like that was implied, but let's clarify.
Just making sure.
Don't worry, Sasha. I didn't try to make a move on your man while we were in Vegas together.
You did not.
All I could think of right now is the Burke brothers, the scene in Step Brothers where they're laying in the beds talking shit to each other at night. You're not a doctor.
Yeah, except for we were passed out because of alcohol and gambling.
How was Will as
Joey,
a
it's
roommate?
good to hear your voice, man. We're happy to have you back here.
Come back.
Go ahead.
I'm happy to be back, Will. It's great to see you and your pretty hair and face, and I was very impressed with your putting abilities. I said that earlier in the show. Incredibly impressed, actually.
Yeah.
It did not go so well on the actual golf course this morning. I can tell you that.
And I'm preparing for our Dynasty Fantasy League, but I still have to accept the league invite, so I hope you're not mad at me about
Let's go.
So you actually went through with it and played around a golf this morning in that Vegas heat?
I did.
You're fucking insane.
Yeah, I know. Only got through like 14, 15 holes because I had to make it to the arena before the Bulls game, and they won.
And they
it was
won.
kind of the opposite of the Knicks game.
Before we get your thoughts on this game, to answer your question before, Dave, Will is a wonderful roommate.
He seems like it. Seems
clean, tidy, respectful.
Yeah, yep, that's the word. He seems tidy. I was right. Yeah, he just seems like he's tidy. He's got everything in line. The bed is made up. The clothes are folded properly. Yeah, like it just seems like it's on point for.
And it was like day 2 or day 3. I got out of a shower and I was like, "My God, my skin is so dry." And I was like, "Will, do you happen to have any lotion?" And he didn't have lotion, but he did have like a moisturizing kind of sunblock. And he lent me the bottle so I could apply some to my face that was just dying for hydration.
Yeah, the moisturizing one, man. That's important.
He lent me his moisturizing sunscreen.
Yeah, he lent you some of the good stuff to get his money maker right. Make sure yours is right too.
And Dave, I would do it for you too.
And I appreciate that, Will. And I know that. And I appreciate that, sir. Thank you very much, man.
All right, so another sluggish start, Will. I was watching the first parts of this first quarter, and I was like, oh, my God, if I have to sit through another one of these games like Bulls-Knicks from Sunday,
me too.
I'm not going to be a happy camper. Great response. The Bulls end the first quarter on a 17-2 run and then really controlled this one the rest of the way. The final score not indicative of the level of competition from quarters 2 through 4. The Raptors just like hit a few deep garbage time threes to get the score closer by the end. What did you see that the Bulls really used as that that spark to turn things around there midway through the first quarter?
My impression, and Coach John Bryant said this after the game as well, is that they weren't really pressing so much. It felt like they were trying to do a little too much half-court offense, pick-and-roll stuff in the first half of the first game and then in the second game. And they were getting out in transition. They're turning defense to offense. Dalen Terry had a couple of nice back cuts for scores. They were getting to the free throw line. Just seemed like there was a lot more flow in the offense. And that's a hard thing to do and replicate because you're not always going to get out in transition and get those steals and speed up the game like that. So credit to them for being able to put 40 minutes of that together. And I think the other thing is Coach was saying, and I definitely noticed this too, I don't know if you guys did, but there weren't a lot of like Dalen Terry pick and rolls tonight. It was a lot more Carl Jones on the ball, and he was sort of facilitating the offense a little bit more, and I think it just flowed a little bit better that way and allowed Dalen to play off ball and to do some of the stuff that he does well in terms of, getting DHOs and making plays off of that as opposed to really trying to create everything on his own.
Well, it seemed to me while I was watching that it was just basically the Bulls in their element. And basically what that means is we're getting the rebounds and we're out. Everything's in transition, and that's how we're running like that. Did it feel like that to you? Like this is the Chicago Bulls, especially when we get into the season, that getting the rebound, transition basketball that we love so much in that first half?
Yeah, and they were actually getting rebounds. I think they got out-rebounded pretty bad by Jericho Sims in that last game against the Knicks, but they were getting the boards, they were getting on transition. And that's when we saw the Bulls at their best last season, right, was Lonzo Caruso, DeMar Zach flying out in transition, getting the ball up ahead and getting some easy baskets that way. And then when things slow down and you need to get a bucket from half court, that's where DeMar comes in. So I prefer that as sort of a way that they don't have to put all their eggs in that one basket of just half court creation from DeMar. I think that's where they really slowed down last year. And so, the more guys that they have that are able to do that they can plug and play. I think Dalen's a great example. He's going to fit right in at the next level where he's not necessarily going to be that demanding on-ball guy. You can just fly in transition, get over screens, be a pest on defense, and just get out there and run.
Dalen Terry had I guess what you could call a nice bounce-back game today. He did not play very well in that Knicks game. Finished with 14, all in the first half, if I recall correctly. In that first half, he was 4 or 5 from the field, 6 of 7 from the free throw line. What did you think about Dalen's ability to sort of maybe not be too aggressive, pick and choose moments where he lets the game come to him and find ways to be effective off the ball, and then also find those times to be a bit more aggressive and get to the free throw line?
Absolutely. And today's his birthday. He just turned 20. And so I think it's that wisdom and maturity that comes with hitting the 2-decade mark in your life.
Somebody needs to tell Mark he's only 20. Somebody got to tell Mark right now he's only 20.
Next year at Summer League, he'll be, and he said, because I wasn't sure if he was 20, turning 21. So I asked him, is it your 21st birthday? And he's like, no, man, I'm 20. The worst birthday you could possibly have in Vegas.
I'm pretty sure if he wanted a drink, he could find one.
Yeah.
I'm sure he could find his way if that were legal and he was able to do that. But I do think he just is learning a lot from his first 3 games. And that's a really good sign as far as just taking lessons from your wins and your losses, from things that you do well and things you don't. And Coach said, and I've been kind of hammering this home the whole time, they're trying to see what he is able to do with the basketball. They're trying to see if he can be a shot creator. They're trying to see if he can be a pick and roll facilitator. And today they took, I think, a bit of a step back, put him in more of an off-ball situation, and he really thrived. So I would imagine we'll see more of that. I want them to keep testing him and seeing what he can do with the ball in his hands. But it's really nice to know that if he is put into this role, he can be, I think, a little bit more successful, a little bit more comfortable with sort of the big team, the big boys.
Well, as you just mentioned, in game 1, he kind of was more facilitating. In game 2, he was more of the scorer. In game 3, like you said, he was more off ball, more back cuts, which were great. It was amazing watching him do those back cuts. Which of those games of Dalen Terry did you like? Like, which versions of Dalen Terry did you like from game 1 or 2 or 3?
I think my favorite aspect of basketball is really good passing, really smart, creative passing. So I really like that first game from him where he was whipping the ball all over the place, getting some assists. He found Justin Lewis on that back cut. Just some really nice live dribble, one-handed passes. Really love watching those. But I think today you saw him in a role that makes a lot more sense for who he is and what his skills are. And that just looks so much more comfortable. It was more fun to watch. He clearly was out there feeling more comfortable in his role. And I think that goes a long way. So just watching him progress from game to game. And it's 3 games in Summer League. It's not like he's had 3 seasons of NBA basketball under his belt, but you can see he's starting to learn some of the stuff that he needs to do to be successful. And so just seeing that progression game 1 to 2 to 3 now, that's been really nice to see. And it's not going to be linear progression. Each game is getting better. We saw first game was solid, second game not so great. Today, much better. And it's just about picking out those lessons and getting more comfortable with your role. And so just from a maturity and understanding his new, skill set and trying to figure out what works for him, I really liked watching him today.
And that's what I was saying. I liked him so much in this game today because like Will said, I saw his role immediately. I was like, okay, this is where he's going to fit in nicely on this team. If he doesn't have to be the guy that's the creator all the time or the guy that's running the offense, but just doing it sometimes, that's fine. But, slashing, getting to the bucket, and, of course, he's got to develop that baseline three-point shot. If he does that, that's going to change everything. But, yeah, just that slashing, that running, getting to the bucket, doing the little tiny things on the floor is kind of where I think he fits in more. But it's good to know that he can do and be okay, in all those different aspects of the game for the Bulls on the floor because they might need him in all those roles at some point in the season.
Right. And people – Go ahead.
To be a good player, you kind of have to do 2 of these 4 things at a high level. Dribble, pass, shoot, defend. And right now, I think he's a good passer and a good defender. Not so great dribbling, not so great shooting. But he needs to work on those things. I think those are 2 probably of the most teachable of those 4 skill sets. And I think playing him off ball a lot unlocks the passing a little bit more. So I just think he's going to get better the more he plays and the more he's put into a role that makes sense for him.
Yeah, I am Scox in the comments agrees. Saying Terry definitely seemed more comfortable playing off ball today. And Daddy Fish agrees with you, Dave, and what you just said, which is that he thinks after watching today's game, he can see Terry's role on this team now. And then it makes sense to him.
My man Fish.
Where, people kind of overreacting to his first couple of games being like, oh, he can't do this, he can't do that, he's a bust. And you're like,
what? No.
It's hard to see how the strengths of his game can go into a team that none of his teammates are on right now.
Right.
This is not the team he'll be playing with.
It will not be the team that he's playing with. Absolutely not.
Also, Will, we have some people in the comments who are relieved that you're still in okay shape after day 5 or 6 in Vegas.
Yeah.
Rise of the Bond 3 said, I was afraid Will might be in full Chevy Chase days, muttering Red 23 to himself. And Scott said, I'm surprised Will doesn't have the Mike Tyson tattoo on his face.
I actually did get the Mike Tyson tattoo. I just covered up with some makeup today for my my TV hit here.
Goat is prepared all the time. Just know that.
Always got to stay prepared.
Did you find a trustworthy, reputable tattoo parlor, or was it like one of those weird, back alley tattoos? I just wanted to make sure it was clean needles, Will.
You're asking me as if you think I'm going to remember.
It was clearly back alley. Let's just say what it is. It's clearly back alley.
It was Fremont Street.
Fremont Street. Shout out.
Before we let you go, Will, and get back to dying in the heat and doing your post-game write-up, Carlik Jones getting a lot of love from Bulls fans. He actually led the Bulls, 17 points for him compared to 14 points for Dalen Terry, and a flawlessly efficient 7 of 7 from the field. Knocked down both of his shots behind the three-point line. Also dished out 5 assists. What do you see from him? I mean, do you think it's just it's summer league? He's kind of running that point position, and he's played a couple of good games. Do you see any kind of NBA potential with Jones?
He's pretty little, and the Bulls are pretty stacked in the sub 6'4" category. But he definitely has some good floor general traits. I think he's a rhythm player. Like you saw today, he had the ball in his hands a little bit more, and I think that led to the fact that he shot the ball really well from the field. But the 5 assists, 2 turnovers is also just awesome to see. So I think he's a player. We also heard from Malcolm Hill today after the game, our first time chatting with him, and he's really great. He seems like he's really focused and has learned a lot from his first season with the Bulls last year, and just putting in a ton of work. And so the Bulls have some great prospects sort of on their roster, on the fringes of their roster, and they're all competing. They're all trying to make a full-time spot here with the Bulls. So very curious to see how those guys continue to perform. And Malcolm Hill obviously, has a little bit more of a runway just having been with the Bulls last year. But I like Carlik Jones. I think he's been really impressive.
I like how Matthew was like, Jones is the next AI, right? You know what I'm saying? Like I told you, man, there is no middle ground.
Absolutely
fans,
not.
Baby. Point guardsmanship. I see you, Adam. I see you.
Throwing a point guardsmanship into the comments for our buddy Will here. I
tweeted it today. Did you guys see?
Of course. I really liked that tough and one that Malcolm Hill had, like sort of at the top of the paint in today's game. Like that was a tough bucket. Yeah. Like Malcolm Hill, he'll probably stick around as a two-way guy. And like the Bulls called on him a couple of times when they were really, really short-handed last season. You never know what can happen.
Yes.
Yeah, and he's a bucket getter, but just talked about how much he's been working on catch and shoot and being a switchable defender. So I was really impressed with him just on a personal level, but then also seeing the things that he's added to his game and already becoming a better and better age.
All right, Will, we will let you go. Thank you for joining us from UNLV's Stadium campus there out in Vegas. Look, everybody, for Will to drop his latest covering NBA Summer League and the Bulls action there on our website, allchgo.com. And follow him, of course, on Twitter if you aren't already, at Won't Gottlieb. Will, stay cool, stay safe, don't party too hard, and throw some on 23 for me tonight, would you please?
You got it. Dave, you want middle column?
Take at least the first time you do it, take even. The first time.
Okay.
Take the even the first time.
Well, and there's a good hedge too, because if you put it on even and then also play 23, you're winning one of those.
Can't lose. Full heart.
Pretty much. I think that's how it works.
Yeah, for sure. For sure. If we've learned anything in our trip to Vegas, that's how it works.
Correct.
All right, Will. We miss you, buddy. Stay safe out there. We'll see you soon.
Bro. See you soon, man.
See you guys soon.
Yes, sir.
The GOAT.
Young Thrill.
Still in Vegas.
Still out there,
working
man.
hard.
I'm so proud he likes my word, point guardsmanship. I am. I'm proud that he likes my word. You know how long I've been using that word? I've been using that for a long time.
When you guys went in the middle of our show somewhere Sunday on your little 8-minute tangent about the word points guardsmanship, and I was Vegas tired, I was drained, I was like in between rally points.
Yep. And with 2 beers you did not like. That was the best part. They're like, bring me a beer. I don't like this one either. I'm having a terrible time. And we're just like, great. So point guardsmanship is a word I've been using for a long time, right? It was the best. God, that was so much fun out there, man. I had a good time, man.
It was harder to put up with you guys without my emotional support system of Joey always there. I swear to God.
He's got
Joey,
your back. He's got your back.
There was a near breaking point where I almost put my laptop down and walked off the set.
He did.
But it wasn't them. It was the heat of Vegas.
Correct.
God, it just gets to you.
It was almost. I was quite comfortable. I drank a ton of water. See, you was
So did I.
That. No, you didn't. No,
Yes, I did.
Not like I was drinking water,
Dude. I had those hydration packs in
That's
my
true.
waters.
You had that hydration.
I had
pack.
like 3 or 4 of those a day on top of my regular bonus added hydration multiplier waters.
How much did you have any Gatorade or anything like that?
So we had the liquid hydration booster packets,
Okay,
right?
yeah.
And then we also had Propel packets.
Okay.
So I was just inhaling those in our bottle of water, and then regular water on top of that, and then beer water. I was drinking 3 different kinds of water the whole time.
Let's talk about that beer water.
That's the water that you get from hydrating with beer.
Oh, is that what that is?
Yeah.
Okay, they call it swill.
Beer's
they call
like-
it swill where I'm from.
Beer's like 95% water, Dave. I mean, I'm no beer scientist, but I'm fairly sure that those numbers are accurate.
No, it's not used for hydration. I don't know if you know that. You know what I'm saying? It's not a hydration thing, beer. You know what I mean? I could be wrong on this. You say I'm wrong on
My
this?
sources have told me differently.
Oh, man, dude. And that's what I'm saying. Every time I saw you, though, you had beer.
Yeah.
I never saw you with some water.
No, I always had a beer and a water, or only a water if it was earlier in the day.
Okay. All right. I'll take your word for it, man. Even though there are pictures of you with strictly beer.
Yeah. Well, that's also because, you stayed at a hotel.
Yes, I did.
You're classy and
Yes, I
you needed
did.
your space.
I needed a space.
Will
yeah.
and I were at the All City Frat House.
He was.
And bookending the days in the morning and then at night, just hydrating.
Okay.
You were always around me in the middle parts of the day.
That's fair.
Where I had reached double hydrating with water and beer.
Okay, but I literally spent a day with you, and I could count on my hand how many waters I saw you have. One many. The only one I remember I saw you had was when we had the tacos. You had some water.
Yeah.
And then we were walking to the casino. You had the hydration pack.
Yeah.
With some water.
Oh,
and
that
was it.
I was pounding waters at the house the whole time. You just
Okay.
weren't at the house.
Fair enough. You was pounding waters the whole time.
You were
and then
not at the house,
chased it
Big
all with
Dave.
beer.
You were not at the house with these 2 Burke brothers.
Like, legit, that's exactly what it looked like. We even had a little, nightstand with drawers and a lamp on it in between our 2
my
beds.
goodness.
So I don't know which one I like more. That one, I also really like this one since we've been talking about it.
Wow.
It's
Yes.
just, I'm
Dude,
trying
I
to
love
think
that.
about, I think
love
Matt would
that.
probably be Phil from The Hangover, walking
Yeah.
around with the baby.
Correct.
I don't know who.
No, I love that one. That's
Will
the
is
one.
definitely Stu.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's
I
the
know.
one. That's the one.
For sure.
That's the one. That's the one, dog. That's perfect. Look at it. That was just brilliant. Great job, Joey. See, you got to watch Joey when he quiet. You know what I'm saying? When he's quiet, he over there working on something, man.
That's right.
Can't wait to put up, man.
That's
you gotta
right.
watch it, bro. He always working. Always prepared.
Getting back on track. Actually, before we get back on track, real quick, today's episode brought to you guys by PointsBet. The best way to support us here at CHGO is to download that PointsBet app and use promo code CHGO when you sign up. If you do that right now, you're getting those 2 risk-free bets up to $2,000. Incredible deal, but it gets even better. If you make a $50 or more first-time deposit, you'll receive a free CHGO membership, which unlocks all of our web content. You'll even get a free shirt of your choice from the CHGO locker. I just got an alert right after I got to the office today that my latest batch of shirts has been delivered.
Boom.
I got the Skyline one. I got the new Cubs one.
Ooh.
Hey, Chicago, what do you say?
Nice.
Can't wait to... I think I might actually be at Wrigley later this week.
Uh-oh.
I'm repping the company at
That's
Wrigley.
awesome. Got to.
That's 2,000 free bets, free CHGO membership, and a free shirt from the CHGO locker, all for just making that first-time deposit at PointsBet of $50 or more. What a deal.
What a deal.
PointsBet's your home for live in-play betting, and it just got even better. Is your favorite team primed for a comeback? See an edge in the game you're watching. Don't just watch the game. Bet along with it, Dave. More live betting, more live markets, faster live cash outs. Follow along with your bets the moment they hit. Stay in the live action all game long. So what are you waiting for? It's time to elevate your live betting game. Once the game starts, don't just bet. Joey!
You live your bet life.
Hey!
I missed it.
Ready.
Wow.
Passing the ball. He was on it, though. He was on it, Joey. I'm proud of you. I'm proud of you.
It's been a while.
So
Shoot, baby.
we heard a little bit from AK,
Yeah.
who did a TV broadcast in-game interview, much like the one Billy Donovan did in their previous Summer League game.
Mm-hmm.
I wanted to just touch on a couple of things AK had to say.
Okay.
Because, once again, let's start with this. Billy Donovan had a not super reassuring answer when asked about Lonzo Ball's status.
Right.
Asked about Lonzo Ball's status, AK said he is progressing, but probably, quote, not at the speed that we would like. I don't enjoy continuing to press this panic button on Lonzo Ball's offseason readiness, status, whatever.
Press it.
But, like, and we know that AK can be very reserved in his answers. And he even said something along the lines of, and I can't say much more than this, but what he said was not encouraging and sounded very much like what Billy Donovan said, which is he's progressing, but slowly.
Yeah. No, it's not what you want to hear. And I told you, man, like during the season, I was waiting for everything to say, okay, well, it says 6 to 8 weeks. When they got to 6 weeks, I was like, well, it's 2 more weeks.
Yeah.
Okay, we'll give it that time. Oh, well, they said they're going to try to ramp them up a little bit and try it again. So I was like, give them that time. Okay, we're going to try to ramp them up a little bit more and shut them down and then do it again. I gave him that time. Then when he was out for the year, I was like, press the button. Press the panic button. I am panicking, bro. I don't like this at all. It's concerning. It could turn out to be great. It could. It could turn out to be okay by the time the season gets here. But as of today, I am tremendously worried about Lonzo Ball's knee, man. And then, you know, it doesn't help that I see him at weddings, you know, having a good time, you know what I'm saying, doing his thing on his knee. Because in our heads, because we're fans, we're like, well, your knee doesn't work. How can you do anything? You know what I'm saying? You can't play that. How can you do anything, sir? So we don't comprehend it like that. But hearing him say that, and we know AK is a pretty straight up dude. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, he's pretty straightforward with things. So hearing him say that, it's just like, damn. You know what I'm saying? Like, damn,
even like the fact that AK is saying that makes it even scarier to me.
Yeah, bro. Like, it makes you worry much more, at least for me. Like, it's the one thing I am majorly concerned about because he is the piece that we cannot afford to not have.
Yeah.
You got to have Lonzo Ball on the floor, man. You saw how it looked when he's out there. You saw how it looked on the defense. You saw how it looked on the three-point shooting, the passing, all of that. You need him, man. He is vital to this team and the success of this team, man. So, no, full panic mode for me. I don't know about y'all, but full panic mode for me, bro.
And see, that's where we've gotten with this Lonzo stuff because Dave is always the one saying, it's going to be okay.
Yeah.
It's going to be okay.
Yeah, bro.
When I have reached my points of panic.
Yes, because
I have also been at times the one telling Bulls fans to chill out about stuff that they shouldn't care about right now,
bro.
or that's not big picture stuff. But now Dave is worried about this.
Yeah, bro.
So we should be worried about this
because all the logic has been exhausted. You know what I mean? There's nothing else I can really look at and hold on to because all the logic has been exhausted. So now it's like, damn, bro. Like, what else is there?
And it's just kind of a maze of trying to figure out why it's going this slowly and what is still causing the discomfort. And the lack of progress because we heard that it was not just about the arthroscopic, knee cleanup, but that there was also a bone bruise involved in that problem.
Right.
And then they did the arthroscopic surgery, and then when they tried to ramp him up after he healed from the arthroscopic surgery, the bone bruise was apparently still lingering and what was still giving him some problems.
Yeah.
But so that was in March, right? April.
Yeah.
Now we're halfway through the July, and we're still not quite clear on what the problem is.
Yeah.
That is very concerning to me.
And I see the real my man Bean Zavelli, saying, if you got 3 more months, he'll be fine. You got 3+ months to wait. But my man, he ain't played since January. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's the issue, that we haven't seen him on the floor. And so they're still telling you, nope, it's still not there yet. That is still concerning because we thought it was going to be done in 6 to 8 weeks. And so when they put extra time on it, and then the extra time turned into you're out for the year, that raises levels of panic and concern about him. You brought up Kendrick Nunn, who was like, dude, out for the entire season because of a bone bruise, man. So that stuff is what's concerning more than anything. And then hearing that he's making progress, but not at the levels they want to, That is just concerning, man. It makes Bulls fans panic like myself, bro.
Real Beansy also said the Bulls can just sign LiAngelo Ball to replace him. They'll probably still get their expectation of going 0-20 against any good team.
Hey!
And that is officially the end of me caring about anything Real Beansy says. Bye-bye now. Bye-bye. Take care. The happy part of AK's sideline interview was him talking about his experience sitting down and getting that contract done with Zach LaVine.
Yes.
And that being the obviously top priority for the Bulls this offseason. I know Bulls fans are maybe still smarting a little bit, saying, damn, Drummond and Dragic, that's it? Mm-hmm. Just like accepting that Zach coming back and getting him to stay on a 5-year was taking it for granted maybe a little bit. As confident as we all were that they were going to get it done, you can't count that as nothing when you talk about what AK and Eversley did. Because look, he's a star. He is a wanted star. He is a 2-time All-Star.
Yeah.
And he probably had options if he wanted them.
True indeed. He did.
He wanted to stay here. And in recent years, maybe that would not have been the case.
It wouldn't have been the case. Joey, do you have that graphic of Zach LaVine talking about Chicago being his home? I'd like to see that up right now.
Ooh.
But,
Hold on.
But I'm just saying, man, it's just knowing he's back on the team is just vitally huge and important. And you're right. A lot of people, I think, took that for granted just in his game of who he is and Zach LaVine and all that stuff, man. Look, all this ain't going to work without him. You know what I mean? It just ain't. It's not going to work without Zach LaVine on the team. A lot of these players are here because they wanted to play with Zach LaVine. You got a guy who is a 50, 40, 80 dude on your team who's gotten better every single year. We saw his defense improve every single year. And I like those players who you point out their flaws and then they go work on them immediately to try to prove you wrong. You know what I'm saying? They might act like they don't care, but they damn care because they want to tell it and rub it in your face and tell you you're an idiot. So he's looking forward to doing stuff like that, and I'm looking forward to seeing it. So it is vital that he's here. It's important that he's here, and it's just key that he wanted to be here, Matt. That's the key of it all. Him constantly saying Chicago is my home. I want to be here, and him saying I didn't look at anybody else. You know what I'm saying? That's also huge too, because we talked about that here on the show a lot. Like, dude, he's gonna go out, he's gonna wine, dine. You know what I'm saying? He's gonna talk to everybody, do all that stuff, and he was like, nah, I know where I want to be, and I know what I want to do, man. And this is where I want to be and what I want to do. So, shout out Zach LaVine for wanting to be here. And Matt made the great point of Zach LaVine's right after he signs that contract, Matt. What did you say he was out there doing?
Hit the gym.
Working
on his game.
Worked on that game immediately, man. Look at that. Look at that, man. It's my home. Come on, dude. Like a star is saying this to you. And that's the other thing, again, Matt. We talked about players wanting to be here.
Yeah.
Stars, not just players. Stars wanting to be here and play in Chicago. I do not underestimate that importance. That is the key thing, man. And he is one of the most liked ones out there in the NBA.
Yeah.
That is also important, too. So you got a guy who's well-liked, who likes being in Chicago. Guess what's going to happen in all season? Hey, guys, you want to come hang out with a guy that you like who's in the city that I run? Yes, that might be the move. Yes. Yeah. I'm with all this.
We got people in the comments. Harmonator saying, you can say with 100% certainty Zach would not have stayed if the old regime was still in power.
I don't care.
Shout out to our guy Jamal saying, hot take, had this been the previous front office, Zach would not have re-signed.
Do not care.
No, you don't have to care, but it's very fair to say that's accurate.
Fair all want, but care, no. I don't. They're not here. They're out my brain. I don't care what they would have done or what could have happened, man. I know what did happen. He's here. And he signed in one of the illest shirts I've ever seen in my life. He signed on the dotted line, and he's rolling with us. Don't care about that pass, man. That's over with. That's done. Shout out to my man Gar Foreman, though, who I saw on the plane.
Oh, why? Why? You can't just sneak that in there after saying a bunch of positive, happy things? No shout out. Shout out retracted. Shout out for sure retracted.
That's my guy.
If you're watching Gar, shout out retracted.
He'd be cool with me, man.
I'm sure he is. There is a split. You can have a shout out on that side of the room. But again, much like our experience at the Bulls Gala that night a few years back, and you ran into him there.
I did.
Having run into him boarding your flight, I said, good thing you ran into him and not me.
And I just on both nights, I said, when at the dinner, I said, I'm glad it was me. And here I said, I'm glad it was me. Universe understood, you know what I'm saying, who he was supposed to see. Because I was not trying to see Matt or a lot of the fans who were out there probably would have seen him, man. But my God, man. Shout out to him. I'm not going to get into him. But yeah, Zach's here, and he's rolling with us, and he's a Chicago Bull for many years to come, and that's awesome.
Speaking of which, there are some quotes from Zach's media interview a couple days ago, his first time meeting with the media since signing his name on that dotted line, that we want to talk about a little bit more. We will do that coming up next. But first, Big Dave.
Yeah.
Tell our viewers and our listeners and our friends out there in Bulls Nation all about the wonderful products at Owen, would you please?
Oh, you know what? If you're out in Vegas and you got your hydration right, but what you do need is some of that protein in you, and you need it fast, all right? Because it's Vegas. You don't want to leave your tables. You know what I'm saying? You keep doing your thing because nothing closes. And it doesn't blink. There's something crazy about an eye that doesn't blink. It doesn't blink. It never stops. But my God, you should get some Owen, though, while you're sitting at those tables, y'all chilling. It's 100% plant-based protein shake that gives you nutrition that works as hard as you do, throwing them dice, putting them chips down. It works that hard. Free of artificial ingredients, allergen-friendly, no gluten or dairy. Bless you, Joey. Easily digestible, because that's what Owen does. Oh, and guess where you might have heard it from? Let me think about that one time. Yeah, Justin Fields QB1. That's where you might have seen that. Touchdown. Oh, yeah, it looks just like that. It looks exactly like that. So Owen and CHGO have partnered up to give you this awesome offer, guys. You can get 20% off your first purchase at liveowen.com. That's 20% off your first purchase at liveowen.com. Just make sure you use the code CHGO20. That's CHGO20. So join me, join Matt, Joey, and join Will the Thrill, even way out in Vegas, y'all. And join also Justin Fields and try Owen, because it's only what you need. Because wins a win. I like how I did that. I like how I did that. I moved to the side, brought it back. That was cool. Thank you.
Well done, sir.
Well done. Welly Wellington.
What is happening?
Still Vegas lingering, that's all.
All right, Joey, can we take a look at this quote from Zach LaVine about his decision to meet with AK and Eversley and then no one else? He said, once I was able to meet with Mark and AK, they came to me with everything that I wanted. There was no reason for me to go outside and look at any other teams. I think that would have been, for me, disrespectful on my end because they gave me everything that I asked for.
Wow.
And then he continued, saying everything on the table that I looked at had Chicago as all the pros. I did my due diligence on my own time as well, looked at things, made a decision for me and my family, but my heart was in Chicago, end quote. I love that from Zach because it basically makes Bulls fans comfortable in knowing that they did not mess around, right? Yes. When we were talking about this leading up to free agency, it's the Bulls, it's the Dwarfs. Maybe they're going to say, hey, Zach, how about a hometown discount? And he's going to be like, motherfuckers, I'm from Seattle. What hometown? What hometown discount? Pay me my money. And they did.
What is going on?
They did not. What? They did not mess around. They gave him the full offer, the fullest of the max, even after that little salary cap bump that happened just a couple days before free agency opened.
True.
And they gave him that option that he wanted in the 5th year.
Yes.
They gave him everything that they could give him.
Yes. And you heard it from AK at that conference with Dalen Terry when they signed him. How confident are you? Very confident.
Very confident.
All right. They knew what they wanted and they weren't messing around. Again, I've said it a million times, man. I love them, AK and Mark Eversley, because they say it and they do it. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's not just lip service with these guys. They are out there trying to do it and being active in what they say they're trying to do. They tell you exactly what it is. Now, how they do it, they're not going to show you the magic of how they do something, but they will literally tell you how it's going, how they want it to end. And that's what they're going to do to get to that point. And they said rule number one, or point of order, number one, was getting Zach LaVine re-signed to this team. So, and Matt would say, get his knee straight, get that surgery, sign your contract. He kept saying that all the way up to that point. It went right in that order. Get that knee straight, get that taken care of, sign that contract. And what happened after he signs that? Oh, yeah, let me let you know that I'm having a family now because my beautiful fiance is pregnant. Shout out to you also for that, to the LaVines. Going to have a bundle of joy that will be born here in Chicago. Isn't that an awesome, awesome thing? But yeah, man, I'm just really happy for him, man, because Zach is a dude who bet on himself. You know, he was that guy who really did bet on himself. Nobody thought he should get this contract. Well, I shouldn't say nobody. A lot of people thought he shouldn't have had the contract he had.
A lot of people thought that the Bulls shouldn't match that offer sheet from Sacramento.
A lot.
And y'all know who you are.
Big time media. A lot of them
know who you are out there.
Yes, a lot of them thought this was silly. You know what I mean? And it looked like they was stealing money as the contract went on because Zach clearly overplayed that contract. So him getting paid for that and going forward in his career and just knowing the kind of worker he is, man. Now, he's not a dude who you're like, give him the contract, now he's not going to do anything anymore. He hasn't been that his whole career. He's been a dude who works. He works to the point where I'll be like, dude, you might be doing it a little too much. You know what I'm saying? Like, chill out. He don't believe in that. He's going to work, man. So knowing you got a guy like, and I know that gives you happiness also, sir. Like, got a guy who you give that money to who's also going to bust his ass at the same time. I know that makes you feel good as well, man.
Sure does. But yeah, I mean, he's 100% earned it. And the thing that I think Bulls fans can maybe look forward to with a bit more optimism than the worry of Lonzo this offseason is something Zach touched on in this media availability. He said his knee feels great. His offseason knee surgery, and again, credit to him for playing through what was clearly a bothersome knee situation in the back end of that season. He called it a run-of-the-mill arthroscopic procedure, and he said he feels great.
Okay.
Let's not forget the type of player that Zach was in the first half of this past season.
Monster.
Because he was flirting with third-team All-NBA.
He really was,
His numbers were that good
They were.
on a team that was at the top of the East.
Yeah.
And you saw the efficiency dwindle when he was playing through the knee injury. You saw his defense come back towards previous Zach levels of defense as he was playing through the knee injury. But he says he feels great, and he now certainly feels like he has to go out and show that he's earned this contract.
Yeah. Joey, can you put that quote from Clutch up right there? Because I think that's important, what he said. I also think people underestimated Zach's potential. I think this dude is dope and is only going to get better. He ain't even done.
Yeah.
That last part is what the key is to that statement. He's not done, y'all. He's how old, man?
27.
27 years old,
He's just entering his prime.
Dude.
And people don't seem to recognize as often as they should. I think that he's gotten better every year he's been in the league.
He really has.
Up to the point where now the past 2 seasons, he has been a legitimate, deserving all-star player.
Yeah. And I like how Billy Donovan, when he spoke, he was like, we know what one of the best things Zach's good at, something we talked about a lot here, was catch and shoot. You know what I'm saying? So I'm looking at that aspect of Zach's game now that he's going to go into his prime. And now I think it's about staying healthy now, too. You know what I'm saying? I think a lot of that's about that. With the age that comes with it and all that, you start playing a little bit more, you know what I'm saying, differently. And, I mean, we talked about that, well, at least I did, when he hurt his knee. And I was saying maybe this will help a little bit as far as mentally, you know what I'm saying, his game, because he's like, oh, man, my athleticism, I can't use it like that. Let me try to do it another kind of way. I think you started to see that when he was getting those foul calls, getting to the bucket.
Getting to the line.
It wasn't the athleticism, you know what I'm saying, that he particularly was using. You know what I'm saying? He was being a little more crafty, you know, to get those shots.
Kind of like stealing a little bit from DeMar's footwork bag.
Correct. And now I think, the catch and shoot is also going to be just dangerous because he is a dangerous catch and shoot guy, man. So I think the sky's the limit for Zach LaVine. You know what I'm saying? What he can do for this team, man. And yeah, I'm excited he's here, and I'm proud that he's here.
He also was asked about some of the offseason moves. Maybe some thinking that they're underwhelming.
Yeah.
And I can't remember which reporter, but somebody asked him about the AK, continuity plan. And Zach's response I thought was interesting. He said the word continuity you guys keep saying, but familiarity is what I would use. Getting chemistry on the court that doesn't just happen 1 or 2 years. He said all the good teams and teams that make deep playoff runs each and every year know each other and have been together for a while. So I think that's definitely something you can establish and grow from. End quote. And look, there are exceptions to what Zach said there. Sometimes you throw some pieces together and boom.
Yeah.
Like, oh, gee, surprise, surprise. The Heatles went to the finals the first year that Bosch, Wade, and Bron played together.
Look at the exceptions he's naming. I just want to point that out. Look at the exceptions. He's meant to LeBron James. You can throw in LeBron James in the bubble Lakers. Yeah, LeBron James, Anthony Davis, 2 75 players. Yeah, you can throw Kawhi Leonard in that. Another top 75 player. You know what I'm saying? Like, those are your exceptions.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Those uber stars are definitely your exceptions to those rules.
But I mean, how long have Jason Tatum, Jaylen Brown, and Marcus Smart been together in Boston? And
quite a while.
Finally, just this year, they make it to the finals?
Quite a while. Quite a while.
The Warriors core 3, core 4 have been together since the 70s. I mean, Zach's right about this.
Yeah.
So I like that was his response to the question about continuity and if continuity is a good enough plan or if they should have thrown another variable into this. Because look, I think the Bulls fans are allowed to be pissed that this offseason of free agency was underwhelming, to put it kindly.
Fair.
Especially if your biggest frustration behind that is that it appears leaving 2/3 of the mid-level exception that they had at their disposal unused, leaving the traded player exception from Tice last offseason unused to spend more money on better players right now certainly appears to be a 180 from what Michael Reinsdorf said on the record earlier this past season, which is that they were willing to go into the luxury tax to be a championship contending team. Right now, that's what it looks like, and you're allowed to be pissed off if that's what's going on here. But Zach is also, at the same time, right to point out what he means about familiarity.
And I like what he said also when they asked him about the guys that they're bringing in. Andre Drummond and things like that. He said, I texted those guys immediately. He said, and Andre Drummond, he said something about Andre Drummond I haven't heard in years. He was like, he was excited and full of energy.
Yeah.
I ain't heard that about Andre Drummond in a long time. But he said he was ready to just get on the floor and play. And he said he's going to come out here with me, you know what I'm saying, out to the West Coast and work out, you know what I'm saying, to do stuff like that. That's, again, like we talked about before, like Drummond might feel like he really does have something to prove. You know what I'm saying? Because this is the last go-round for him to get a huge contract, y'all. So he's got to show out, or in my opinion, he's got to play well if he wants to get that money. You know what I mean? Otto Porter Jr. understood it too. You know what I mean? Like, and I talked about that. I was like, I bet you he don't get his hurt, and I bet you he plays better with Golden State. Boom, you see it. Boom, he's in Toronto. You know what I'm saying? So it's your last time go around to get a check. Things come a little different for you. You know what I'm saying? So I think he's at that level, and he's 28 years old, as I keep forgetting. Oh, my God, I swore he was 34. But, yeah, man, like, I'm interested to see it. But I get why fans being upset. All that, everything you say is logical. You know what I'm saying? And I completely understand it.
And look, does this team still have a concern with a sufficient volume of three-point shooters? Yes, it does.
Very much so.
Is there still a question mark about this team's interior defense, even with the addition of Andre Drummond?
Especially. Yes.
For sure. And there is still that thing about the Bulls' record against the top teams in the East last year.
Yeah.
That is a real issue, but maybe a little bit of continued chemistry, familiarity that Zach was talking about, and another year and another go-round of learning how to beat those teams, the best and the best, they can get closer. If they are fully healthy, they can get closer. AK said it too when he was talking during the game today along the sideline interview. Look at the teams that made deep playoff runs. Most of their key guys were healthy.
Yeah.
It's big. Yeah. And when this Bulls unit that they kept together this offseason was healthy last season, number one seed in the East.
But, Matt, when has Zach LaVine actually had continuity since he's been here in Chicago?
Well, I don't know about that, Dave, but Beansy asks us a valid question of when Zach's good play is ever correlated to winning. I think that's the question we should be answering right now.
Dude, like, I'm so serious.
He also said that if Gar Foreman was the GM, we would have drafted Patrick Baldwin Jr. and been in a
So it's Gar's burner. Hi, Gar.
All right.
How you doing, buddy?
But I'm so for real about that. Like what continuity has he had here in Chicago?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Outside of his best friend,
This
Timothy
past season was
being
the
on
first
squad.
time in his NBA career that he had the same coach in consecutive seasons.
That's
in
crazy.
his 7th NBA season.
That is insane, dog. Like nobody's been here. Who was the longest team you played with him? Right? It was Kobe White.
Kobe.
That's crazy.
Kobe.
You know what I'm saying? That's crazy.
The entire rest of the roster, other than Kobe, got flipped.
That's crazy, dog. Like he has no real continuity with the team like that. So they're giving him a team. And they're giving him a good team. And they're saying, well, let's see you guys grow together for a couple years, and then we'll make that decision on what to do going forward. But you've got to see what it is on the floor, man, before you can start saying, okay, you're trash, you're trash, you're trash. You're cool, and you're trash, I'm out. You got to wait for a second on that because he's never, ever, ever, ever had it. So he's got to get it. He's got to have it.
Man, comments. Y'all are feisty today, and some of you are wrong. Chocolate Salty Bulls. Shout out. I know that's a returning viewer.
Great name.
Said AK was highly sought after prior to taking the Bulls gig. He wouldn't have taken the job if he didn't have full autonomy. This
agree.
Dorf's tight ass routine is getting old. Really?
Uh-oh.
Really?
Here it comes.
Really?
Drink this Gatorade.
Really? Really? Jumping to the aid of trying to say that you're not buying the whole Reinsdorfs tend to be small market team, small-minded, tight-pursed. Really? 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 That's what you're... Okay. Hi. Thanks for stopping by. I think you're fucking crazy, but thanks for stopping by.
Shout out to the name. I love that name, man. Shout out, bro.
Yeah, it's AK who's the one who's cheap, Dave, for sure. For sure. It's AK. It's AK. AK doesn't want to spend that luxury tax.
Well, as in my new best friend, Mark Eversley. So, and I love the fact that he's here too. You know what I'm saying? Because I don't like leaving him out of this as well. Because Mark Eversley is a big part of why Zach LaVine is here too, man. Because I'm telling you, that dude can talk to you. Just spending that time with him, I was like, hey man, you want to hang out? You know what I'm saying? Like we go kick it or something like that. He's got that kind of thing about him as well, man. So I never want to leave Mark Eversley out when we're talking about players being signed or moves being made for the Chicago Bulls team, because I think he's a big part of that as well, man. But guys, continuity. You have not seen it since Derrick Rose? You know what I'm saying? Like it's been a long time since we've seen the same team come back here. You know what I'm saying? Like and get better, or at least try to get better. You know what I mean? Like we ain't seen it in a while, bro. Like we've been dependent on the draft.
Yeah.
Like, well, this sucked. Well, let's draft this guy and see if it worked. Well, let's give him time. Well, that didn't work. Let's try this guy and see. Well, get this new coach out of here. Get this new coach in here. We haven't seen a family yet, y'all. So this is the first time we're seeing it, and they got to get at least 3 years, right? Like, so let them go into year 2. Let's see what it is.
Yeah. One more thought about the whole money thing,
Okay.
and then I'm going to stop myself.
Oh Lord.
As Zach signed on that dotted line when they were out in LA, him, Mark Eversley, Arturas Karnisovas,
Yeah.
several people in Chicago sports nation had it dawn on them that in that moment, that was the first time in Jerry Reinsdorf's history of owning both the Bulls and the White Sox
2 teams.
that he has ever signed a player to a contract worth over $100 million.
Bro, 2 teams.
He owns 2 teams in this city. That was the first ever contract he signed to a player of $100 million or more.
That's
I asked, so like I got to the office earlier today and everybody saw it. And I was like, oh, hey, how's Vegas? I'm, tired, good, awesome, a lot of fun. And I immediately turned around to the Sox guys and I was like, are you okay?
no.
It's like the Bulls are having kind of a weird,
no.
quasi purgatory offseason, but like they are
We're not okay.
in dark times. And that's the team he actually cares about.
yes.
Yikesies.
We are not okay. It is not fun going on right now. No, it is not. But Herb the crew will speak. Herb and Sean will speak better on this than I ever would. But
you know what?
God, no.
I like this from our guy Daddy Fish here, who's saying it's a new day.
Yes, it is.
There is some truth to that. I mean, it's towards the end of today, but then tomorrow will be yet another new day.
Yeah, and we'll be back here talking about the Chicago Bulls and hanging out with you awesome, wonderful people, man.
That's right. Great to be back home in Chicago. Great to be back at our CHGO studios here downtown.
Yeah.
Missed you, Joey.
Missed
everybody here. And even though we were talking to y'all in the comments while we were in Vegas, we missed you too, Bulls Nation.
We did. I really did. Like, for real. Really missed y'all, man. Yes, put your trust in AK, baby. Put your trust in AK and Eversley. Put it there. Put it right there, y'all. And just be cool. And, hey, let's see how it goes because I trust him.
Right on. All right, we'll be back tomorrow with another fresh episode. Will is still out in Vegas. I think he doesn't come home until Thursday.
Yeah.
So maybe we'll have him pop in and join us remote again tomorrow.
Yeah.
And then Thursday, we'll give him the day off while he's traveling back home. Maybe we'll try to get a guest in here on Thursday. We'll see how it goes. In the meantime, keep up with us on Twitter. Dave's at Bulls _. Dave's at BalBNWL Sports. I am at Bulls _Peck. It's like we're one mind. Will is at Won't Gottlieb. Make sure you're checking out his Summer League coverage at allchgo.com.
Yeah.
Subscribe to our CHGO Sports YouTube channel if you aren't already. And do us a solid if you enjoyed today's episode. Give us that thumbs up underneath the video. It helps us out a lot. Until next time, for Joey, for Big Dave, for Will the Goat Gottlieb out there in Vegas.
The Goat.
I'm Peck. Love y'all, Bulls Nation. See you, right. Be good.